Hi guys, this is day number 5 of experimenting with the law of attraction, with the ideas of manifestation, and so on. So, I am trying to give you an actual update about how it's going. Now, as far as I can see, it's my biggest my biggest issue or challenge is the idea of waiting for the things to happen. Naturally, I'm not a very patient person, so it's very hard to believe something that you cannot see, even though it's usually said that we see what we believe, we don't believe what we see, but it's very, very hard to actually put that into practice. So that's something interesting, and if you go down that road, this can be something that you are going to be challenged with. So the believing part. I mean, the first times maybe that you try this out, you're probably going to be very positive, very believing, very enthusiastic, and so on. But if things fail to realize, if things fail to manifest, then that's a big problem. And usually, as far as I can see now, usually a big part is the unconscious belief that you and I and everybody hold about themselves and about the world and so on. So in this moment, I'm thinking about those things. For example, uh, in the past, if we're trying to manifest financial freedom, then there are certain beliefs about money, about freedom, about being, about trusting, trusting the universe that it's going to be okay, that it's going to be taking care of you. Because let's face it, you can see it everywhere around the world that people are not taken care of, that there are bad things happening. So, but you cannot say that it's all because of them manifesting things, but it's probably the way things work down there. So we are, for example, mostly on the West, and probably in the most part of the world, we are living the 9 to 5, as they call it, slave wagery. So it's it's kind of a system. And if you want to break free from that, it's not something that it's easy to do according to the common belief. And if you have tried sometimes in the past, you probably have felt that it's not that easy. And even though if you're very near it, it happens that you get slammed down. Just when you're so near to achieving the thing that you want to achieve, something happens and you get smacked down, back down. So it is a challenge. And on day 5, that I'm actually experimenting and documenting things around this. As for now, I don't see many things happening, although I am seeing some some new hidden beliefs that I have uncovered during this experiment. So it is something that's worth chasing and worth doing just for the sake of that. So, for example, I've noticed that when I do these kind of things, I tend to get very impatient. I tend to wanting it right now, right here, because if I get it and I have it, then it cannot be taken away from you or from me. And that's also something that happens because of past bad experiences. You cannot go through life having bad experiences and traumatic experiences and then feeling just alright, that everything is alright, that everything is going to work out nicely, and that it's going to work the best for you, etc. So, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I'm trying to be as open-minded as possible. I mean, my specialty is cognitive behavioral therapy, and I know, as I told you before, I know that it works. And with the law of attraction and manifestations and so on, it's a new way of testing things out. Because we have already acknowledged that money is not about, or I mean, financial freedom is not about working your ass off your whole day, like 20 hours a day, or maybe even taking advantage of other people and enslaving other people. So that's not what we want to do. We want to create a better world, a better future, being a person of light, bringing light to the world, bringing light to the universe, and actually improving the world. If you create a business where people have to do what they have to do because they don't have any other options than to starve, yeah, I mean, that's something that, in my opinion, is not that good. Even though you can, for the sake of the argument, you can say that, yeah, I mean, it's okay, you are essentially taking care of them or their families, they have a job, etc. But the biggest problem is, A, it's very hard to do. B, most people fail. Survivorship bias. So the only ones that survive are the ones that tell how it was hard and how it was blah blah. But usually it's something that happens. You know, you get the right synchronicity, how Jung described it, and it's like meeting the right people at the right time. Of course, you have to work, but it's a different kind of work. It doesn't feel like drudgery. I don't feel like Jeff Bezos felt any grudgery or grunt working. I mean, it went on, it was there. Of course, there were challenges, but it's like having challenges in a game. You play the game, you know that you're going to essentially try until you succeed, and that's that. And challenges are fun, are interesting, are fun. But in the real world, where that's the grudge that weighs you down, that destroys your willingness to live, to have your joy, etc., it's not that easy. And another thing is, of course, the idea of the simulation. So if this world is simulated, and Elon Musk believes so, I don't know what to make about that, but if you look at the world, it's a very strange place. So I don't know, maybe that's true, that we are in a simulation, but essentially, if we are in a simulation, then the biggest question to ask yourself is, if we are living in a simulation, then probably the law of attraction, manifestation, and all these things do work if you can crack the code. That's my view. If we're not in a simulation, then we have the laws of physics and the of course the grunt work and so on, and then probably the law of attraction and manifestation doesn't work. But even if we are in a simulation, maybe you are programmed to feel the way that you feel. But of course, we have tools like cognitive therapy to cure that. So, for example, if you don't have the will to go ahead to live, then that's usually a sign of depression, and we can cure depression, we can cure anxiety, and so on. It's simple. It's not always easy, but it can be done. So it takes a little bit of work, but it's work that is usually very rewarding. So that's that. But if you are programmed for what you're going to have, then we have a bigger problem. Then the law of attraction doesn't work, and we cannot manifest what we want. And actually, it's just like Obama said, it's like winning the genetic lottery. So being the right genes at the right time, at the right moment, and taking advantage of that. If you're built to be a great swimmer and you go swimming, Yeah, of course you have to work, but it's like a different kind of work. You work and you get some success, then you work some more, you get some more success, then you have of course some obstacles, some falls, etc. But essentially it usually works out in the end. So that's that. For today, I'm going to continue to uh, making the reading what I would like to create and what I would like to impersonate, what I'm going to be. So living from my identity and who I want to be, how I want to show up in the world, and let's see how that works out. So hope that helps. And day 5 first update.